In today's society with social media, it's extremely easy to compare yourself and feel like a failure. If you feel like a failure or you're lost or depressed about a life situation or whatever, from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely hope you succeed and find what you're looking for. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say everything is going to be okay and work out, and I can't guarantee that if you work hard, you're going to succeed. Because there's a lot of people that work hard their entire lives that meet unfortunate ends. But what I can guarantee is that if you quit, then there's nothing left. You know, it's crazy to me that people in their late teens and 20s feel like failures when they haven't even gotten started. A lot of people feel like there's no margin for failure because we live our lives on display for other people at all times. And this doesn't allow you to embrace failure. Like, you always gotta make it seem like you got it all together and life is great. It's like when someone asks you what you're doing or you're at the family reunion and everyone's kind of trying to put on this front and play up what they do. No one ever says I'm struggling or talks about their failures. Like, there's this weird pressure to make it seem like your life is good at all times. Same thing for social media, right? Everyone plays it up to make it seem like their life is going perfect, when deep down inside, a lot of people are struggling. Embracing failure is a necessary component to succeeding in the first place. It's where you have the most opportunity to grow and learn. So many people in their 20s and even 30s are depressed and feel like failures because they're not making a certain amount of money, they feel like they haven't met their parents' expectations or expectations in general, whether it be from your social circle, your peers, or society. And you look around you and you feel like everyone is moving so much faster and doing so much better than you because of social media, all while you're working a job that you hate, and it's slowly killing you every day, but you feel like you don't really have any other option. It's like you got all these creative ideas and passions or hobbies that you don't really know how to go about them, or you don't believe in yourself enough to chase them. And you feel like you're alone in the struggle and it's just you against your own mind every single day. The world is changing really fast every single year, and life only seems to get harder, and you feel like you're getting left behind, like you're watching life pass by you every single day. And I really want you to succeed, I really do, man, because I know there's nothing worse than feeling like you're sitting on the sidelines just watching other people succeed in life. It makes me sad when people have the outlook that life will never get any better. It's why a lot of people are depressed. They don't know how to navigate life, and truth to be told, most people don't. Like, everybody's just winging it. Even the people you see in your social circle, your peers, even famous people you see or look up to, everybody's got something. The reality is life isn't fair, and this is a rare take from me because my mentality is you can do whatever you put your mind to. It's only ever gonna be you. You know, the kind of survival of the fittest, the hyper individualistic, you can do anything you want mindset. That's always been my belief, and it still is. But the reality is people are dealt different hands in life. Some people more favorable than others. Some people are born with rich two-parent households with all the resources in the world, and some a bit less. Some people are born really attractive and some people a little bit less. Some people are born to be 6'8" athletic freaks, and you know, some people aren't. Life isn't fair, but you can only focus on what you control, and that's the truth. There's genuinely no point in looking at or being jealous or wondering why things are the way they are. And also, a lot of people probably don't want to see you succeed. And what I mean is, people see their peers in their age bracket subconsciously as their competitors. They might want to see you do well, but not at the cost of their own success. So as long as you're not doing better than them, they can be happy for you. It's like misery loves company, and this was always something that I felt empathy for. Because to a degree, it's understandable, right? If you feel like someone surpasses you even if you're doing well, you feel like a failure. It's nothing personal against any one person, but it's an insecurity within yourself. And this is a toxic mindset. We should all want to see each other succeed. Everybody can win. It doesn't always have to be a competition, even though we live in capitalism. And in many ways we do compete, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even though ideally you should be competing against the person you were yesterday, in some ways we do compete. And I used to be that way, like I'm only competing against me, and that's only half true. I talked about this before, but I always imagine my future wife as an inspiration, wherever she is right now, hopefully somewhere. I think about what she looks like, what she sounds like, her personality, and the reality is, I'm not the only guy that wants her, so by definition, I'm competing with those guys as well that want her. If you're applying for a job, right, you're competing against those people in your field. But when it comes to success and succeeding in life, the key point is that we should all have our own definition of success. That way we can all win and be happy for each other. Like, people seem to forget this. Like, something to keep in mind when you feel like a failure is you have to have your own clear definition of success. Not what society told you, not what your parents told you. Like, what do you genuinely want out of life? Because too many people get caught up in society's definition of success when they're chasing validation. And the problem with that is that it's empty, it's fleeting. I had a friend tell me once that his goal was to be a millionaire by 30. And I was like, okay, cool, how come? And he said, so I can be rich. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. But like, what do you want to do with that when you're rich? Like why that number specifically? Why $1 million? And how come by 30, right? Why that number specifically? And he didn't really have a response. I don't know what it is about 30, but everyone feels like they have to have everything figured out by 30. And it's a rhetorical question, of course, but it's the societal perception of being 30. For some people, success might be having a family, right? Having a wife, having 2 kids. For some people, it's to inspire. For some people, it's to be an athlete. For some people, it's to create art. For some people, it's working for charities. For some people, it's saving lives. For some people, it's working with animals. Like, it doesn't always have to be how much money you have, what's your status in society, what assets do you own, are you a homeowner, what car do you drive, what's your lifestyle. This is society's definition of success, and way too many people attribute their self-worth to these things. Like, you could still be a giant piece of shit with all that. And what's all that gonna mean when you're on your deathbed? None of that's gonna matter, but who you are before God, that's what's gonna matter. The person you were to those around you, what their lasting image of you was, because that's what's important. All that other stuff goes out the window. And people say I rag on this a lot, but it's because of social media. And almost all of the main issues in modern society can be attributed to social media in some way, shape, or form. And materialism being attached to success was something that I always hated, I'm not gonna lie. Because the whole point of having watches, cars, mansions, jewelry, all these materialistic things, they have value because other people don't have them. Most people don't have them. That's the only reason for materialism. So you're making yourself feel good because you have something that most people don't, and you show that off because it validates your own success. Like, let's take cars, right? Yes, some people, a small minority, genuinely just love cars. How beautiful they are, they enjoy driving, etc, etc. But the whole point of supercars is the exclusivity. It has value because it's scarce. A Ferrari has value because not many people have a Ferrari. So when you drive a Ferrari and post it on your Instagram, it's something that makes you feel good and validates success because other people don't have it. If most people had Ferraris, no one would care. No one would post pictures, it wouldn't have value. It's the idea of, I have something that you don't, and that makes me feel good. Like, succeeding and winning in life doesn't have to be because other people aren't, because you feel better than other people. Like, we gotta rewire and reprogram our definition of success. It doesn't always have to be status and wealth, because society's definition of success creates an unhealthy mindset where you're inevitably going to always compare yourself to other people. Like, we gotta stop comparing ourselves so much. And we do this even when we don't realize it. Like, personal growth, relationships, mental well-being, these are all things that matter. And these are all things that we neglect in terms of chasing success. That's why so many people are constantly in therapy and taking antidepressant pills. Even these successful celebrities that you see, they're always on drugs or doing some weird shit. Way too many people live like they're going to live forever. Like, we often forget that we can't take it with us. Because until some real shit happens, loss in your life that has or inevitably will happen, you don't realize how fleeting it is chasing society's definition of success. You could be in a meeting about to close a multi-million-dollar deal in your business and suddenly get a call from that someone that you love or care about is in critical condition, and just like that, you couldn't care less about that multi-million-dollar deal and you're headed straight to that emergency room. We don't take it with us and we don't live forever, and it's so easy to get caught up and lose sight of that. And I'm not against money, I'm not against capitalism. I think one time I was talking about something similar and I got a comment that called me a champagne socialist or something because I was talking about the toxic nature of materialism. Like, it's okay to chase money, right? Like, there's a difference between someone that wants to be wealthy because they're thinking about having a family in the future or wanting to provide for their kids versus wanting to be rich because of status and materialism for validation. Because that's what materialism is, right? You're trying to buy validation because society told you that's what success is. And most of the time when people follow society's definition of success, not even just celebrities or athletes or whatever, even like normal people you see 9 to 5, they end up doing a bunch of drugs and chasing hedonism because that feeling wasn't what it was advertised to be. That's why you have to have your own definition of success and be honest with yourself. And ultimately, that's the point I'm getting at. And also, try not to be so hard on yourself. It's crazy because I normally have the tough it out, 100% accountability type of mindset. But if you take a step in the right direction, it's okay to give yourself credit sometimes. And you don't have to beat yourself up over everything that doesn't go well in your life. We also forget that we're supposed to fail. Like, so many times we can accomplish something, right? But then look to the side and think, well, this person already did this or is still way ahead of me. And I'm not gonna lie, this one applies to me as well. I get so uncomfortable with compliments because I don't want to give myself any credit for anything. Like, it's weird. Like, I always try to redirect the conversation to someone else. Just try not to be so hard on yourself. If you're doing your best every day, then that's all any of us can really do. Life isn't easy, and it's not supposed to be. Otherwise, we'd have no reason to be here. Embrace your failures and try to learn from them, because that's what's gonna make you who you are. And who you are is what's gonna matter at the end of the day. Find your own definition of success, and I hope from the bottom of my heart that you succeed. Anyways, I think that's enough inspirational, corny stuff for me. Thank you for listening. I love you. Make sure you stay true, and I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.